Today we're going to simulate a ransomware attack and show how easy it is to recover with BrickStor's automatic data protection policies. So right now, I'm showing how we'd recover a directory here where we have a bunch of blood test results and spreadsheets. And we're going to use the built-in capabilities of automatic data protection and snapshots. So this blood test data set is being shared out, and you can see that we're using the automatic data protection profile that takes a snapshot every 5 minutes and retains it for 30 days. It actually replicates it to this off-site location and keeps those snapshots for 60 days. All of the snapshots on BrickStor are immutable, and they're not mounted, so they're protected from ransomware attacks or change. And we can also look at the permissions. In this case, it's being shared out to the lab operators group. And I'm using an account model employee at Racktop Labs, which is a member of that group. So it's being shared out. I'm going to open up one of these spreadsheets, and you can see that it has a bunch of results and numbers, and everything is going fine. But now, what we're going to do is simulate that a ransomware attack is happening. One of the other accounts, the Brian Villain account, actually is going to be infected and going out and encrypting all the documents and creating a ransomware attack. So now we're going to try to read and open these documents after the ransomware attack. I'm going to open up one of these files, and we can see that the simulated attack has hit us, and the files are indeed encrypted, so we're unable to access the data. So of course, to recover from this, we want to be able to restore to a previous version of this before the snapshot, using a snapshot prior to being hit with the ransomware attack. So what we're going to do is first go into the user behavior activity and see what happened. And we can quickly see what happened on this environment. We can see that a couple of files I tried to open as model employee, and then we see all this activity from Villain, where there were a bunch of read operations and deletes, and then write operations where it's writing out the encrypted version of that file. So we want to disable that account potentially in Active Directory. But we have another way we can prevent or deny access right from BrickStor as well. So what we're going to do now is look at the snapshots for this data set. And we're going to create a clone from right before we were hit with the ransomware. We're going to go to the snapshot at 10:15. We're going to create a clone, and we can restore it anywhere. We could put it to this restore path by default, or we could put it where the other data sets are. For right now, I'm just going to call it blood tests restore, and I'm going to clone that snapshot. And I'm going to copy the permissions from the original one with one important exception. I'm going to deny access to that account with the offending ransomware. So I'm going to add a permission. I'm going to call this out, and I'm going to make that a deny permission. I'm going to prevent them, that Villain account, from accessing this share as well, so that if it still has infecting data or whatever, that will get set as we expect it. So I go and I commit these changes, and now once I've done that, I'm going to share this out via SMB again so that I can access it. Now I'm going to go back to the window, and with the file, I'm going to browse to that share. Not to the blood test, but I'm actually going to go to the blood test restore, and from here, I'm going to go and try to open up the file. And you'll see that now I have the files, and everything on this data set are restored back to the way it was before we were hit with the ransomware attack. So I'm able to instantly restore not just a single data set, but all of the data sets or the entire storage pool very rapidly. So you could restore hundreds of terabytes, if not petabytes, in just a few minutes, and also understand where the source of the ransomware came from immediately. Get your operations back on track. So it provides a very cyber-resilient solution using Racktop to defend against ransomware attacks. And that's all we have for today.